Mhm. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Ritch Talks. We are here again. I'm Mitch.
I'm Rob.
Today, we don't want to be two strangers just talk like preaching to you about life anymore, right? Okay. We think it's probably important if we're going to continue to do this, you get to know us a little bit. So I'm going to be asking Rob a series of questions. You'll probably be throwing them back at me. We'll see how this fares. It's probably going to be a bit uncomfortable for us both because we don't like talking about ourselves. We're a bit goonish in that sense. But I'll start with a question to Rob. Rob, tell me, in an ideal world, what does your ideal life look like in 10, 15 years' time? What are you thinking in that sense?
To live in a cottage, probably in the countryside where I have an outdoor environment where I could just walk into either out my front door or the out back, and I've got a nice big garden out the front door. I've got some nice big hills to walk up. I've got a lake that I can swim in, and just live life in the nature and appreciate it for what it is, but to be active. That is pretty much, if you sum it up. And I'd probably have more animals. And we can, come to that later. But that's probably.
Is this in the UK? Is this in the UK? Is it not in the UK?
So, because I still want to be around friends and family. Yes, if you said to me, "Where's your ideal country that you'd like to live?" It would probably be somewhere like New Zealand, somewhere that has. If you think about the UK, maybe 50 years ago or maybe 100 years ago, it's probably what New Zealand is now in terms of population size. I think they've got a population of about 10 million, which is the size of London.
Oh, fucking London.
And their nature is, it's just beautiful over there. I had a camper van when I was out there and just travelled from the South Island and travelled up North Island as well. So I've seen the country for some part of it. Obviously, there's probably more to explore. There's always more to explore. That's probably where I'd love to have lived, but I don't want to be so far away from friends and family.
I don't blame you there, mate. But yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you could say to them, listen, I'm going to come visit twice a year. I'm going to come see you Christmas and summertime.
But it doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen. I get
because then your holidays are only ever situated around going back to see your family. Unless you've got loads of time and loads of money where you can make those trips. At the moment, I don't envision that happening currently because I don't want to be. I think it's a more of a want at the moment. You want to be around. So say your mum says, "Yeah, I've got an issue." It's not, I'm just 2 hours on the other side of the M25. No, I'm a whole day away.
Yeah.
Just to get on the plane and then it's the whole day and loads of money away.
Yeah, because you're quite a big fan of the Lake District, which is still quite an untouched natural beauty of the UK as it is. You know what I mean?
It's becoming more popular. I think Peak District probably appeals more to me now, just because although it's not got loads of bodies of water, there are patches where you can go and swim, but it's just lovely there. Whereas the Lake District, I'd say it's becoming more populated with time. Mm-hmm. People are flooding there every year.
Go to Wales then, isn't it? Like, Wales is just nice. Wales, there's like 5 million people in Wales. It's fucking sheep, fields and hills.
Scotland's lovely.
Scotland's
absolutely
beautiful as well. Like, there's actually nice places in this place that we call home. It's not actually terrible. Like, I could see myself living here for the rest of my life as long as it's not anywhere close to London.
I think Kent now it's lost its status of the Garden of England. It's definitely lost that.
It's the garden with dog shit in it, but like it's not fucking real garden anymore.
Yeah, it's a garden, but yeah,
it's got lots of dog shit.
Yeah, it's not one you want to live in. So I suppose likewise. Where would you see yourself,
mate? Honestly, like,
what's your end goal look like if you settle somewhere? Where is it and what is it?
It's just stability in life where I don't have to break my neck to make a living. I have a lovely family, which at a place we call home. It's not like I'm not extravagant, not wanting these fucking millions. I just want peace, tranquility. Yeah. It's like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, do you know that feeling of sipping coffee in the morning? Yeah.
Or now.
Or sipping coffee now.
Take one now.
That feeling of like bliss. It's like I'm not expecting my whole life to be that, But if a bit more of the life was bliss as opposed to, just breakneck pace the old time, it's lovely. Do you know what I mean? That's exactly what I'd like to have. So I don't know what the economy of this place, of any country, will be like in 15 years' time. So I can't sit here and comment and be like, oh, well, I want to live in like fucking South Africa because, well, do you know what? It might be fucked in 50. It kind of is fucked anyway, but like mass racism, like, oh God.
Parts of it, yeah.
Like, so it's like, I don't want to get fucking, I want to commit myself to a location because I don't know what it could be like in 15 years' time. New Zealand might be a show in 15 years. Like the new booming place for the world might be, I don't know, Morocco. I don't know, it might happen. I doubt it, but
but I look at climate. It's not just what's happening with the people. It's how the country is, what it looks like to me.
Yep.
There's nothing like when you go away and you spend an extended period of time away. There's nothing like coming back in, even the fresh air. Like sometimes just the air in the UK, it may be full of pollution.
Yeah.
I'm smelling the fumes just as I get out, but there's something refreshing about stepping down onto your home turf.
Yeah.
And where you're born, where you're from, and I don't think that you can't just put that into a sentence. It's a feeling that you can't really explain of where you're from.
Yeah.
And other people can choose to live somewhere else, but you end up hearing that they miss certain things from back home, and they still call where they're born home.
Yeah.
And I think we do get attached to where we are from.
Yeah.
And you can make a new home somewhere else. Yeah, of course you can. But there'll be elements where you go, oh, miss back home.
I'll get you. Right, go on. What is the best movie of all time? Because Rob looks like Patrick Bateman. If you can't tell, Rob, right, like you see all these Patrick Bateman memes everywhere. Like Rob looks exactly like like Christian Bale in that film. Like it is actually eerie. Like when you're growing your hair out, but it was like at that in between stage between long and short.
Yeah.
I was like, fucking hell, that's Patrick Bateman. Like, what the hell? So yeah, like tell me about films. Go on, give me some perspective. Give the audience what they want.
I think I've got some. I've got top three.
Go on.
I've got a top three, and there's no particular order, but the one that I'm thinking of right now, Gladiator.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's just a great film. Like, and if you haven't seen it, what the fuck even are you? Like, I don't even understand. It's like you've got to watch that one. I haven't seen Gladiator 2, and part of me just didn't want to see it because it's going to ruin the first one.
Yeah.
Well, not ruin the first one. It would just give me a tainted view, or actually it might make me think the first one's fucking really good.
Yeah.
Second one, Braveheart.
Okay.
Have you seen Braveheart?
I haven't seen Braveheart.
Oh, what?
I know, I'm a fucking boomer. Sorry, I'm
going to leave.
Got to fucking off. I'm out.
And then the third one, Lord of the Rings.
Oh God, no! Really?
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
Fucking
yes,
hell.
I love it. All three of them. Give me 24 hours or however long the films are. I'm gonna sit down and watch all the extended editions back to back, and I'm gonna fucking love life.
Oh God! Look at the excitement on this man's face.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings probably sits at number one. It was one of the first films I ever went and watched in the cinema, like proper films. And I went and saw like Disney films and kids films. But I mean, I was young when the first one came out, and it was this big next best thing. I fucking loved it. I'm sitting there, and there's a scene where one of the Wraiths of you're not even going to understand. You don't even get to.
No, I don't. But the audience might.
Oh,
let our 33 subscribers know.
And it was just there, and they're chasing Merry and Pippin, and you just clinging to the sea. So I remember that feeling. And there's times in life where you have a high emotional connection to things or a reaction to set things in life, and you just remember it, and you get that chemical reaction going on right now. You get the goosebumps.
Yeah,
it's because you think back to when you first saw it, and it had that first initial impact. And the Lord of the Rings, if people haven't seen it and don't like it, I just don't understand them. Don't understand them.
Yeah, no, I hear you on this.
Okay, there'll just be part of me that doesn't understand why they don't like
it. What about series then? Like, you watch TV series or not?
I've become someone that just doesn't like sticking the TV on anymore. I'll sit down and watch. So I have Netflix, Amazon Prime. They're two things. I give myself time to watch either one of them. So don't get involved in politics and news and things like that. Everything I hear from other people or I'll do an occasional research if I feel like I need to. So TV series, always a tough one. Breaking Bad's probably up there just because it was a wicked series. Breaking Bad, Prison Break up until season, I don't know, 3 or 4. The Prison Break was pretty good. I've always loved the thought of escaping things, and I think that it resonates with my whole being. You're trying to escape the situation that you're in. So I think that transpires into the film. I've always loved The Great Escape. That's a film anyway, a true story. Loved that film. And digging tunnels, doing things. Like if I was stuck in prison, I would 100% try and escape. Yeah, like there's nothing. I wouldn't just stay there and think this is it for me. I would be looking at ways every day to try and escape. Like Shawshank Redemption, fucking loved it. The way he and it goes in and he's got the poster and then it's tunneled out underneath with fucking whatever toothpick it was that he was using. Amazing. I'm a real adventurer, but I've always.
This is why you escape prison.
Oh yes. No! In my house, I just wanted to find. So at my mum's, it was an old house. I just wanted to find like a hidden door, an old cellar door, and underneath underneath the summer house, there's a water soakaway, right? And I think I might have showed you it before, but I got in it and I was inside and I thought, this is amazing. Imagine if you could tunnel through to somewhere else, or imagine if I could turn that into something else, because it's no longer a proper soakaway. The soakaway, when they made the other houses in the area, they did it all into a set drainage. So this now that was underneath here is redundant. And it was redundant before I even bought the house because people had tiled over it. I only found it because I was knocking everything down to get to this. Sorry, I'm going to bore you with all this.
No, it's all right.
So yeah, it's I don't like talking about myself, but as soon as you ask me, I can waffle on for you.
Yeah. Got a bit red there.
Back to the series. You go. Tag you in. What's the series that you like?
Have you ever watched Ozark?
Yeah, Ozark's pretty
fucking banging.
I couldn't stay hooked.
You couldn't stay hooked?
I liked it, but I just couldn't stay hooked.
Like, give me Ozark, and then if there's one for like Power, have you ever watched Power?
I did watch Power, yeah.
Fucking love Power. And then if you give me one for nostalgia, give me fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, I don't care. Yeah, absolutely. No,
I was probably a bit before that. I was Pokemon.
You're a Pokemon man. You see, this is where it's like when there was a craze about Pokemon a couple of years ago when Logan Paul was like getting his fucking Pokemon cards and opening it online for like 10 million viewers. I was like, shit, where's the Yu-Gi-Oh version of this?
Yeah, so I've got Pokemon cards still, and you still hold on thinking like Charizard's going to make me a millionaire.
Hey!
But my brothers, who are probably similar to your age, were very much Yu-Gi-Oh! For Yogamon? Well, there was Digimon as well. So there's like Pokemon, then Digimon, then it was like Yu-Gi-Oh! And then I don't understand anything that goes after it.
Yeah, it's just you're just a Pokemon, and that's that.
Oh, Tetris, like all the games. You had Rayman. I loved the Game Boy era. That was me. Yep. That was when I first really got into gaming. Yep. And then everything else afterwards, I played a little bit of PS1, then a little bit of PS2, and that was kind of it. But one of my cousins had sort of Nintendos, and I'd love to play them. I just never really went down that path.
Actually, do you know what? You bring up PlayStations, yeah. So I will fucking rant about something. I'm sorry.
Go for it.
Right, listen. It's like, do you know? You people online will say fucking gaming's bad for you, and I completely understand where they're coming from. But it's equal, in my opinion, to television. It's not worse than television. Do you know? Like it's like and like. It's like someone's got to have the escape somewhere.
You could argue it's better because you are using fine like motor skills. You're using your brain is active whilst you're doing it, so you're not just sitting there and consuming as such. You know, the TV you have to concentrate. You have to concentrate more for gaming. So one could argue if a person A and person B, they spent the same time doing the same amount of things, that the gamer is probably going to enjoy life a little bit more because they socialise nowadays with people. You
speak to someone online. Like, obviously, it's better to do it in person. Like, absolutely. But if you're a TV dweller with no social life, or a gamer with like someone with some fat neck-bearded American, like at least you've got a friend.
But I loved when you had friends come round and you all split screen off of one screen.
Oh, Call of Duty, like split screen.
You get a big, big TV. We didn't have big TVs back when I was first starting off gaming like that. We had smaller TVs, and you had to put a towel over something. You had to try and put, because otherwise someone would screen watch you. If you're playing against them, they could see exactly what you're doing. So then you had to do that. And I loved that because you still had the in-person
screen watching. I love it. The terminology.
Screen watching.
Stop screen watching me.
Yeah.
Stop camping, you cunt.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So it's like, those were the good days when you invite your mate round, and I played with my brothers, and you were in their room. And then when it started advancing, where they were in their room and then I was in my room, I didn't like that as much.
Yeah.
You know, even though you could talk to each other, just come fucking sit in the room with me. I preferred that because I got a better buzz out of it by having the person next to me. And it's the same thing. If we were doing this over a screen, it'd be fun. It wouldn't be the same.
No.
This in person, whether it's the vibration, whatever it is, because we're sitting next to each other having this conversation, it's more fun, more enjoyable.
It is, but man, I'm just thinking how many hours I've sunk into FIFA in my life. How many hours have I sunk into FIFA?
Right, it's enjoyable, right?
Oh, mate, honestly, I'm telling you this. It's like, would I change it? No. Like, it's like I literally socialised with my friends for years playing FIFA, and we are closer because of a video game.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm fucking not hearing it. Right, Rob, give me a reason why dogs are better than cats. Because no one in their right mind is going to agree that cats are better than dogs. Unless you've got to be.
I will. So
cats are better than dogs?
No. Let me expand on my answer first. Me being who I am, and I'll expand on that. I love all animals. I love all creatures. Everything nowadays. Even the things that I don't think I like. Spiders. I won't kill a spider, and you've seen it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter. They're big, small, really ugly, really scary looking. I can't kill it. I can't do it. And there's nothing that nowadays, even things like mosquitoes, I'll only do it if I'm being harmed and in a self-defense. So yes, I'm vegan. Hello, nice to meet you. And we're going to probably lose some subscribers over this.
No, I eat meat. Let's not. Don't unsubscribe.
Yeah. So if you're staying subscribed, just say subscribe for Mitchell then. Or go for that plant power, because there is power in it. But I'm not going to advocate people doing it. It's for me. If you don't do it, fuck you.
Fuck off. Subscribe to my belief theories.
I love all animals, and it really resonates with how I choose to live my life, my true values. I'll live by them. But with cats versus dogs, I've been a dog person, and I only say that because my family have had dogs, and if my family had cats, probably would have been a cat person. But I'd probably still be sitting here going, I love animals, and I want to get a cat one day. I do want to get a cat because they're just different creatures. They live life in a different way. I really respect the fact that they're so individual, that they don't rely on you as much, that they go out and fend for themselves, that they come back and they crave a little bit of attention, or they don't crave attention depending on the cat. So the reason why we love dogs a little bit more is because we love that attention. We love that social connection. We are social creatures. But there are some people that think like cats, so they like cats a little bit, they're drawn to cats a little bit more. So it just depends on who you are as a person. But because I have the understanding of that animal and know that each cat is different, every dog is different, everyone, I say for animals, everyone, people call them just dogs or it, whatever. I say it's a being, it's something inside. Sheep, cows, every cow, every sheep will have its own individual traits. But I love dogs because I've just always had dogs.
I've called a couple of people its before.
Yeah. Well,
I've called, look at it.
They don't. Some people don't deserve to be a one, or
sniffy crack on the side of the road. Yeah. But look at it, bruv. Like, what the fuck is happening here?
So it's cats, dogs, doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's a nice animal. But some animals can't help but be horrible, depending on their experiences, past experiences. They don't have the same brain capacity.
They got that animal trauma in it. Animal trauma.
Yeah, but even bad dogs that have been, I suppose, sent to homes and like shelters, animal shelters that have had bad experiences, can change into being nice animals to go get past their previous traumas over years of building relationships with people that actually fucking love them.
All right. Good. What in life is the most embarrassing thing to happen to you? And I will go first.
Yeah,
I'll go
go
first
first.
on this
Well,
one.
I'll think on that one.
Because when I was in year 9 at school, I shat myself. All right, but I didn't like. It was in such. It was in style, and I mean, I shat myself in style. Like, it was maths. It was 12 o'clock, mid fucking day. I was like, right, okay, I mean, shit, but I need to hold this because obviously, being a 13-year-old, you're embarrassed to shit in school. like, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just because I was just a goon with no confidence in anything. I was like, right, okay, I need to hold this. Got through maths, sucked back up a little bit. Thank fuck. Got to English, this lesson after. Fourth period on a Friday. Thank fuck, it didn't happen midday Tuesday. Fourth period on a Friday. I was like, right, I'm busted. I need to go. So I sprint. Like no fatty has ever sprinted a day in his life. I can't even tell you the 100 meters I must have clocked was unbelievable. I got into the toilet and it went down my leg. I was smelly. I was fucking livid. I was like, I couldn't even justify it. I was like, I was seconds away from succeeding the height of the century. 3 hours holding this shit and it just trickled down my leg like a cunt. I know that's a bit personal, but that's the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me in my life. So I walked home smelling like my dog just shat on me, and it was fucking awful.
I think I can top that.
Go on, yeah.
It's going to be a shit story, and it's happened fairly recently. And I was trying to think of the most embarrassing stuff.
How fairly recent?
Not like in years, the last couple of years. I'd say it's actually, I think it was last year. So Yvette and I. Yvette's my partner. We went camping up into Scotland.
Yeah.
So we was doing the North Coast 500 route, and I'd done it like a year or two previously with my mates. So I knew where I wanted to stay around Ben Nevis in a camping spot where it was close to the mountain. So we went there, and obviously if you're camping, right, and you're free camping, wild camping, you have to shit in the woods. You have to get back to your human nature, whatever it is, whatever you want to call it, and you have to go for a wilder poo, right? And so living with your girlfriends,
brilliant.
Your girlfriend, you know that women shit as well, but when they use a toilet, and now you're both going out into trying to find somewhere in the woods, and you want to space yourself out. I like my privacy,
Yeah.
When I'm having a poo, I like to sit down and I'm not going to be disturbed by anyone. I like to take my good time. But when you're outside and you're squatting down, you can't really get comfortable too much.
No.
So I like to go off and find a little bit of I'll find a spot. So if you see a dog and it will circle around until it finds a poo, you're like, why don't you just go for a poo? You can go anywhere. So it's like us. But I now understand. I'm like now finding a branch, and I'm like this. Okay, I've got another branch here. Now I'm comfortable, so I can have my poo in a little bit of comfort. And I was shouting out to Yvette, don't make sure you don't tread in it. And you have a little bit of a joke. I started walking back to the van, and there was like a little bit of a river. It wasn't too high, so you couldn't really bathe in it too much. But as I was walking back, I was like, "What's that?" And what I'd done is, when I was wearing my sliders, I'd stepped in poo, not my own, someone's. A human poo. that wasn't my own. And where I was wearing the sliders, it flipped up, went all down the back of my leg, and it was all down the back of my shorts because it must have been a fairly recent one. And I was covered in someone else's poo. And again, when you're camping, we didn't have a shower, so I had to try and sit down and bathe, and it's fucking freezing. That's freezing cold water. Sit down and try and bathe, and then get as much soap as you can. I felt disgusting for the rest of the day. It wasn't even for the rest of the day, but I was embarrassed because
what even your own?
No, it wasn't my own.
What even your own?
And I just shouted out beforehand, 5 minutes
beforehand
to Yvette, don't. And she noticed before I did. So I'm just smelling it, going, "Oh, that's a bit of a stinky poo." But no, I'm wearing someone else's shit, and I was wearing probably shorts like I'm wearing now. So it was embarrassing. That was embarrassing for me. So yeah, that's
fucking traumatizing.
Yeah, no, I can still.
You dream about that stuff. Do you know what I mean? You would dream about that. Yeah, like literally, this shit goblin comes up to you and starts throwing their shit. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Oh no, mate. Honestly, my stomach's churning. We need to get on Sack a bit more positive. Like, listen. All right. Okay, Rob. Tell me your favourite coffee.
My favourite
Oh,
coffee.
the shit story's killing me. Fucking hell.
I like different coffee. I think now I've become a bit more of a latte / cappuccino type person.
Is that since you become
fancy coffee.
vegan?
No.
He become vegan, he loves a latte.
Hang on a second.
Three latte, please.
Hang on a second.
Three latte, please.
Pumpkin spice latte over there.
It was
amazing.
amazing.
My pumpkin spice latte.
Pumpkin latte,
Starbucks. Yeah.
Honestly, it was banging.
This guy over here.
Fucking.
I'm over at work making some black coffees, maybe adding a little dash of milk if I'm feeling a bit fancy. And he's going out of work where he gets free coffee at work to go and get a pumpkin spice latte.
But it was amazing. Honestly, it was worth it.
We can't even have that conversation. I have my bean to cup coffee machine at home, my Sage Barista Pro. I love it. I now make fancy coffees just because I can.
Oh.
And sometimes I like a black coffee. So it just depends how I'm feeling. But if I was to choose one, and you said to me, "You got to choose one," it's probably going to be a caramel oat latte.
Jesus, that is
a bit of caramel for sweetness. I like my sweet treats.
That is the only time I've ever looked at Rob and thought, "What a fucking neat caramel oat
pumpkin spice latte."
Caramel oat latte.
Yeah. Caramel oat latte.
Actually, that's it. Yeah. Actually, if you're watching this, write this. Like, respond in the comments to this. I think it's oat juice. Rob would argue it's milk because if you don't get the privilege of being milk, if you haven't been milked from a tit,
you
can't milk a nut.
I just don't.
You can't milk.
I just don't care.
You can't milk an oat. It's oat juice.
You call it oat milk because it's, that's what it's called. I don't give a shit if it's oat juice. I'll call it oat juice. I'm still gonna.
It's 100% oat juice, bro.
I just say it's oat milk because it is oat milk and it winds you up.
No, it's not oat milk. You can't milk an oat. You can't milk a nut. You can milk.
So what's the definition of milk?
If it comes from a breast, do you know what I mean? Like if you've milked it from a cow, if it's milked from there, just chop, that's fine. Human milk's fine as well. You can milk that from a tit. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I'd argue human milk's more natural for us to be drinking than cow's milk. But that's another conversation.
No. If we started selling human milk, like I'd probably buy it. Like, do you know? Like, oh god, like he's a cannibal. Okay, no, I'm not.
But you would
someone will call me a cannibal for that shit as well. Like a freak.
You want to have on the bottle maybe the person's face. Like,
I'd rather not. No. It's equality.
I'd want to see who this milk has come from. You know what I'm saying? Like, fat Susan or fat Karen, like some like pussy, droopy milk teas. So like, or Anyway,
give us your milk, love. That's disgusting.
I think I'd rather talk about the shit story.
Moving on. No, because I've got fucking. Oh, mate, honestly, but coffee is sacred to me. Like, honestly, you probably got me into coffee. Like, the time I had it for the first time, it was like heaven. And then, like, I've had coffee. I put a bit of sweetener in it. And I'm like, oh my god, this is like literally addictive.
I got into it in Vietnam.
Yeah, that's
probably the first time I properly had coffee, and I was like, well, this is actually nice. Oh. And before that, I was a tea drinker.
Like you Carte Noire Gold. Do you know what I mean? Ain't Carte Noire Gold. It's fucking Vietnamese premium coffee.
Oh, it's proper coffee. It was like it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't. It was a proper coffee, and it was. I think it was actually a cold coffee, an iced coffee.
Yeah.
And it was a hot day, and I can't even remember the backstory. I just remember having the coffee there.
Yeah.
And it was lovely. I really enjoyed it. I was like, wow. And then I went to Australia afterwards, and my cousins out there, Peter and John, absolute quality guys. They'll probably never listen to this, but shout out to them, who they just loved cappuccinos. They absolutely loved it, and they had like loads of sugar in it, loads of sweetness. So that proper unhealthy coffee. You could probably hardly taste the coffee at this point.
It's just sugar.
This was years and years ago. They were taking me fishing and things like that on their boats that they had, and they stop off, get coffee. Get coffee. We just fucking had one 20 minutes ago.
Yeah,
but they were just so cool, and like, it was just like, yeah, you got to. You can't not have one. You had to fit in the way that they just the vibes they were giving off, and that got me into coffee there, but that sweet kind of coffee. And when I got back home, my mum used to drink black coffee. Well, she still does, but drink black coffee.
Yeah. And
then I had one. She said, "Oh, do you want a tea?" Normally it was a tea. So when I first came back, I was like, "I'm gonna have a coffee." What? having a coffee? I went, yeah, I'll have a black one. I'll have a black coffee. No sugars. I did have sugars.
You
I had
raw
sugar,
dog coffee
I
for a
had
while.
sugars to start off with. I think I had like 1 or 2 sugars because I used to be like a 4 sugar tea person. Like, you can't believe it now sitting there. But when I was in my late teens, I had early 20s 4 sugars, and I was like, I think back now, I'm like, what the fuck was I doing? Until I started to look at my diet more. I was one of these people that was fit but unhealthy.
And now he's 7% body fat.
And
So he's like...
now I like to be healthy and try and stay fit as well. So I try and align the two.
The thing is though, like whatever it's done has worked wonders for you. I've never known somebody to be natural, maintain sub 10% body fat like it's fucking nothing like you. It's actually because you don't see perspective like of this because it's probably not normal to you. But like the fact that a natural human being who is decently muscular can maintain sub 10% body fat is like fucking hell.
I'm definitely losing muscle mass at the moment where I'm upping my cardio for another Ironman. And
he's gonna have a charity for his Ironman as well. If you wouldn't mind putting a bit of money towards it, because it will be sponsored, won't it? It will be sponsored.
Yeah, I will do another charity. I did one previously for motor neuron disease. I had 2 people pass away in my family. Rest in peace, grandma and my uncle. And then the second one I actually didn't because I didn't want the stress of doing it. But I'm going to do another one. I think it is good to have some purpose that you're giving back to someone else or another cause. Yeah, I'm definitely going to do it this time around to give back because it's not just about me this time. I have a desire to really branch out and help others whilst I'm doing something selfishly, towards my own goals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
man, I'll tell you what, like, big up to you because that Iron Man stuff is next level. It's like it's next. It's the ultimate achievement of fitness. It probably well recognized ultimate achievement of fitness. It's like
it's recognized as something that's been extremely difficult. Yes, I get that.
No, because
there's always things that are more difficult.
No, but you get ultra marathon runners like, again, you're a big fan of David Goggins, but it's like and again, you have to experience it to like see it because again, running and biking in comparison to swimming is so comparatively easy. Swimming is like a full body workout. To swim 2.4 miles, which Rob's going to have to do. Explain how hard that is, Rob. Like, try to put it in perspective how hard swimming 2.4 miles is.
I find it hard because I've built myself up and conditioned myself and trained myself to do that. And I can't, so I could probably do it now, but what you do is you have to have build phases. So it's not like you just train all the time at that intensity. You're building it up. So mine's in June. So I'm having build phases. You have to have a base level. So if you are going to do one, you have to give yourself at least a year. So it's a year of training. If you're, a complete novice, really, complete beginner, you could probably do it within a year. Ideally, you want to have some base level beforehand, base level of fitness, and then have a year. Mm-hmm. Because if you got to learn how to swim. If you can't already, well, I wouldn't even tackle the goal until you can. So there's techniques behind it. And the only thing is, with swimming, you can't. The more effort you put in, the harder you pull the water, the slower you're going to go. Whereas with cycling and running, the more effort you put into each one, the faster you can go. Mm-hmm. Really, even with shit technique, the harder you run, the faster you can go. Yeah. So land-based sports are, because we are mammals, we are very much land-based animals. Mm-hmm. But when we're in the water, you have to think completely different. And if anything, it's trying to be slower, smoother, and you get more sort of proprioception, the feeling of what's around you, because it's different. You can, if you move your hand in air, there's hardly any resistance. You feel the resistance with the air, but then when you start doing that in water, you've got to grip that water. Mm-hmm. And it's without going into detail too much. 2.4 miles, go and walk it. And know how long it takes you, and then try and swim it.
2.4 miles is about 5,000 steps as well. Like it's about 5. So imagine that's just swimming. Like every muscle in your body working, like the core, the back, the chest demands, like that you are having from this fucking. It's unbelievably hard.
And then you do it in the lake or a sea. Sea swims obviously more difficult because you've got a current, you've got waves, you've got other things to think about, and you end up swimming more because you're not. If the quickest way from point A to B is in a straight line, but when you've got a current, you've got to account that maybe if the current's coming this way, you've got to swim that way in order to swim in a straight line. If you look at the point and think, I'm just going to swim there, you end up over there. And now you have to go and zigzag. So there's so much more to it once you then get into the race, into the sea. And then you're coming off, then you've got to bike 112 miles, which for anyone, just if you go out there, get on your bike and cycle 112 miles, you might be able to do it.
Fuck that.
It might take you a very long time, but you're going to be cooked for a long time.
Fucking cooked.
And then running a marathon at the end of it. So it's 26.2 miles. And that for anyone is a big goal anyway. That is a big goal for people. So I'm not looking at it and going, oh, that's only small because I've got to do the two other things. It's still a massive thing. So for anyone that goes to accomplish a marathon, fucking fair play, because it is a hard thing. And it's completely different. So the marathon time at the end of an Ironman for amateurs, pros, completely different, but is a lot slower, really, after you come off the swim and the bike, than if I was to go out and run a marathon now.
Yeah.
On my marathon time, I haven't had the chance really to test it just as running.
But if you hypothesize, what do you reckon now? Like, if you reckon...
With my run times that I've been hitting, so I do go out and training runs, so I know what my comfortable runs are. And I think, and this is my opinion, because I haven't done it, so I don't like to just talk about things. I can get close to 3 hours, just 3 hours. And with more training, if I was to really focus on just the running and everything else taken out of the equation, swim and bike, I break under 3 hours. I don't know. And then that's
so fucking hard as well.
It's the honest answer, because I genuinely don't know. But looking at people that I've run with, so I went on a run with someone yesterday, and he's done 3 hour mark, and we are running together around the same sort of level. Mm-hmm. But he focuses on marathons, where I'm focused on triathlon at the moment. Yeah. But when I get into the run in triathlon, I haven't had a good run yet.
That leads me on to thinking, because this is why I say, like, you kept up with him quite well. Yeah, you said it might have been only for a short distance. I truly believe swimming is the superior form of cardio in everything in life. Like, if you swim, you are going to condition your body better than any other form of cardio. You might just let me use an example.
Yeah.
Like, you know the UFC. We both like MMA. Kamaru Usman had fucking gammy knees for like years, and he couldn't run anymore. So he starts swimming, and this motherfucker, yeah, he might have been on EPO. I don't know. I don't think he was. Like, you know what I mean? It's stringent testing. But if his only form of cardio was swimming, and this motherfucker was lapping people in that octagon, he was fucking breaking people with pace. Like, I mean, no tomorrow. This is a well-muscled individual. Like, so he's strong as an ox as well, and he's fucking breaking people because he's swimming lengths after lengths after length. He's becoming like an Olympic level swimmer, and he's absolutely breaking people with his cardio. This is why I say, like, would you argue that the most transferable form of cardio for all walks of sport is probably swimming? Like, if you want to be a top level MMA fighter, swimming.
Yes. To answer your question, in the short answer, yes, but also no. For people that are doing strength-based sports, so like grappling,
anything that's in both cardio and strength.
Yeah, swimming. Because swimming, people think of it as like a stretch. They feel like it's stretching the muscles. Well, actually, it's not. Even though you're using your limbs at a stretch, you're got heavy resistance. So the resistance on the muscles are contracting the muscles and not like elongating the muscles. So therefore, it's not a stretch type sport. You're very much working the body, like working out in a strength-based exercise, but you're combining it with cardiovascular training.
It's unreal.
So that whereas running, once you've got the pattern, you can keep it. So even though it's high impact, because swimming will be low impact,
and it's better for your muscles.
It can be, but it depends what sport you're doing. And I'm very much now, I'm looking at people's performance in certain sports. I'm going down the route of sport-specific coaching.
Yep.
And you have to break down what are they trying to achieve. So people, if they are, even in grappling, they should have elements of running.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're even double legs, you'll be running. So sprints, high sprints and things like that would work well. But low intensity, steady state cardio builds it depends what you're focusing on. You're trying to build a cardiovascular system, right? But also be good at muscular endurance, muscular strength. You want to combine everything. So that's why I like triathlon, because you've got a mix of everything. You've got different aspects where you can train in order to be fitter and stronger.
No, but if I had to
Let's choose one.
If I had to say to you, right, so think where there's muscular endurance. If your sport requires some level of strength, some level of cardiovascular endurance. So say you're a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioner, you play rugby, you do even to an extent football, because if you're a defender.
If you had to choose one, swimming.
And this is why I'm saying, like, a lot of people with champion running and then get dodgy knees in their fucking 60s. If you swim, like we know Joe from the place we used to work out at, swam like a madman, and he's so fit, and it's just
because it's a limitation for people for when they're running. Maybe cycling is a low impact, so cycling is also very good.
Yeah, cycling,
but it's very linear. But swimming can be very linear, so you have to try out different styles, like breaststroke, mix that up, backstroke as well, because as much as you're working the front crawl, you're very much working a pronated or just forward movement rather than backwards. So then you're using other muscle groups to reverse it. So the elements of backstroke, you just have to take a rounded approach. Whereas, cycling, running, very much one direction.
If you can't tell, we both love fitness as well. So if you can't tell, so we've gone off on a tangent there because we both love it. But I think that's probably good for this episode. Like hopefully you've learned a bit more about us. I hope anyway, because me and Rob we talked about it the other day. We're like, these fuckers probably don't even know who we are. We're just rambling about them how to live their life. Hopefully over the episodes, over the time that comes, you'll get to know us both a bit more and you'll see what we're both about. But I think that's been a really good episode. Please comment in the comment section about anything we've talked about today. Like, subscribe, follow us. I've been Mitch.
I've been Rob.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good day.